Hey LCR, wanted to give you another video update from Japan. I'm in my hotel nightshirt in case you're wondering what on earth I'm wearing. This isn't going to be my fashion moving forward unless I can find a way to get it into my luggage. But I wanted to talk to you about two things. And the first thing was just to tell you a little bit about what we experienced today. And the second thing is to talk about these trips in general. As I mentioned in my last video, our main partner moving forward in this work is Pastor Tatano. He's the pastor of OA Lutheran Church. He's our connection to Kyushu Gakuen. And it's his passion and commitment over these years, along with Fumi's passion and commitment, that has really allowed these relationships to finally flourish and cultivate in the meetings we had this time. Pastor Tatano was a pastor in Hiroshima for 13 years, and so he took us around the sites associated with the atomic bomb. It was chilling to hear that he had members in his congregation who had experienced the blast and also who died because of the after effects. He told us that there would be members who were healthy one day and they'd be dead the next because of blood cancer or other effects from exposure to radioactivity. He also talked to us a little bit about groups who were not Japanese who were affected by the bombing that we don't hear a lot about, especially the Koreans. And he knew a Korean lady whose two children disappeared after the blast. And for the next 70 years, she left her doors of her house unlocked because she said, if my children ever return home, they would be so scared to find that their house was locked. And of course, they had died in the bombing. This city is filled with stories of that grief, but the city is also filled with a spirit of peace and a commitment to finding a way forward after the two experiences of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And that's certainly a commitment we can share as Christians to be peacemakers. Now, this is the fourth trip we've taken as a church. And when these trips began, one of the concerns was that they would just simply be viewed as a way to take a vacation or sightsee in Japan. And that was never the hope, and that continues not to be the hope. We've been able to see over these four trips that we've had the opportunity for introductions. We had the opportunity to become official sister churches. We had our youth visit for the first time last year. But this trip now, our fourth trip, represents kind of the closing of this introductory chapter. Moving forward, these trips, as they will continue, are going to be much more focused on sharing in the mission and relationship that we have in Kumamoto. And so over the next couple months, you'll be invited to participate and hear about what aspects of those relationships you'd like to pursue, whether they be a kind of international mission work, whether they continue to be the exchange, whether it's having Kyushu Gakuen come to Huntington Beach and do some unique educational experiences. But we're really now going to focus in on the faith component and mission component of the special relationship that God's given us. And if you've seen some of our pictures on Facebook, there's a lot of joy. And the reason there's a lot of joy is the members of the Japanese congregations and the members of the school really feel that something new is happening. The time of introduction is officially past, and now we build into God's future. You'll also see as we come home that we're going to bring some of the insights of Japanese Christianity into our teaching. It'll be really helpful that it be a two-way street between the two cultures, and that this culture and this history, which is a special part of our spiritual DNA, will inform us as we explore our life with God. And a good example of that will be some of the tea ceremonies we have that were begun by a Christian high up in the imperial court of Japan, and that teach theology in the Bible in some really beautiful ways. So we want to bring these beautiful treasures back to the church. We want to focus on the relationships as they relate to our shared faith in Christ. And the time of introduction is over, and a new chapter begins.